Tennessee looks like the kind of place most people feel safe in. Rolling green hills, dense hardwood forests stretching across the ridgelines, the Great Smoky Mountains pulling millions of visitors every year with scenery that makes the whole state feel gentle and fundamentally harmless. That picture is accurate and misleading in equal measure. Tennessee is the fifth most dangerous state in the country for animal-related fatalities, sits inside one of the highest venomous snake density regions in the eastern United States, and hosts the most visited national park in the country. A park where an estimated 2 black bears per square mile share terrain with millions of tourists who mostly have no idea what they're walking into. The locals who grew up here know. They know which ground to step over carefully, which water not to reach into, which season means checking yourself more thoroughly when you come back inside. Here are 11 of the animals responsible for those lessons. Number 1. The timber rattlesnake. Tennessee's most dangerous snake is found statewide, from Appalachian ridgelines in the east to western lowlands, reaching 5 feet in length with a venom profile that combines hemotoxic tissue destruction with neurotoxic components in some populations. Henry Ford Health Research found rattlesnake bites account for over 90% of fatal venomous snake encounters in regions where they are the primary venomous species. Its hunting strategy is what makes it so dangerous in Tennessee's woodland terrain. The timber rattlesnake is an ambush predator that holds position for days, perfectly still, relying on cryptic brown and yellow banding that blends into forest leaf litter with extraordinary effectiveness. Experienced hikers describe stepping over what appeared to be a pattern of fallen leaves, and only then seeing the coil beneath their boot. They warn. They rattle. They prefer not to strike. The bites that happen occur because someone didn't see the snake until the distance between them had already closed too far to matter. Number 2. The eastern copperhead. The copperhead is Tennessee's most commonly encountered venomous snake, and the one most likely to be found not in backcountry wilderness, but in a suburban backyard, a neighborhood hiking trail, or a woodpile behind a house on a subdivision's edge. The specific danger is the freeze response. When threatened, a copperhead does not retreat. It freezes, relying on camouflage, brown hourglass bands perfectly matching Tennessee's leaf litter, and holds position while a hiker, a child, or a gardener continues moving toward it. By the time the snake becomes visible, safe retreat distance may already be gone. Emergency rooms across Tennessee treat copperhead bites throughout the warm months. April, when snakes emerge from winter dens, is documented as the highest frequency bite month. Number 3. The American black bear. Tennessee has an estimated 7,000 black bears across 2 primary populations. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park hosts approximately 2 bears per square mile, one of the highest black bear densities of any protected area in the country, and simultaneously draws over 12 million visitors annually. In June 2021, a 16-year-old girl sleeping in a hammock in the Cosby section of Great Smoky Mountains National Park was attacked by a black bear during the night. The family chased the bear off. She required hospital treatment. Park officials specifically investigated why the attack occurred. The family had properly stored all food and found no clear explanation beyond a bear that had learned to associate human camping areas with accessible calories regardless of proper precautions. Bears in Gatlinburg and surrounding Sevier County approach residential neighborhoods, den under structures, and enter vehicles. Food-conditioned bears requiring removal are increasing annually as the population grows and expands its range. Number 4. The cottonmouth. The cottonmouth, called the water moccasin across most of Tennessee, is the only venomous water snake in North America, concentrated in the western third of the state, where it shares streams, lakes, and wetlands with people who wade, fish, swim, and kayak throughout the warm months. A dark-colored snake on a dark-colored streambed, in moving water and dappled light, against mud and aquatic vegetation, is difficult to detect even when you are looking for it. The cottonmouth compounds this with behavior that is uniquely dangerous. It does not retreat when approached. It holds its position and displays, opening its mouth to expose the white interior, which inexperienced observers frequently misread as passivity rather than warning. Cottonmouth venom is more potent than copperhead venom, producing severe tissue destruction and documented cases of limb loss when bites go untreated in remote creek and river habitat, where most encounters occur. Number 5. The brown recluse. The brown recluse's danger in Tennessee is not a dramatic encounter. It is the opposite. A bite so small and so frequently painless that a meaningful share of documented victims do not realize they have been bitten until hours or days later, when tissue damage has already begun. Tennessee is one of the most significant brown recluse hotspots in the country, with the species found throughout the state in exactly the environments humans most casually occupy: woodpiles, storage boxes, garage corners, dark clothing on the floor, shoes left unworn for days. In its worst documented cases, the bite produces necrotic tissue damage that craters inward as surrounding tissue dies, expanding over days or weeks, requiring surgical removal and leaving permanent scarring. Experienced Tennesseans shake out shoes before putting them on, check clothing on the floor, and never reach into a dark corner without a light. These are not paranoid habits. They are learned responses from people who know this spider is present inside their own homes. Number 6. The black widow. Found in woodpiles, garage corners, under deck railings, and around outdoor structures throughout Tennessee, the black widow builds its web in exactly the spaces humans access without thinking carefully about what might be sharing them. The venom is neurotoxic and weight for weight significantly more potent than a rattlesnake's. Fatalities in healthy adults are rare with treatment, but the symptom profile is severe. Intense muscle cramps spreading from the bite site, abdominal pain, nausea, sweating, and elevated blood pressure persisting for days. In 2013 alone, 1,866 black widow bites were reported nationally, Tennessee contributing a disproportionate share relative to its population. The Tennessean most likely to be bitten by a black widow is not hiking in a remote wilderness. They are reaching behind the garden hose in their own backyard. Number 7. The wild boar. Tennessee has a well-established and growing wild boar population distributed across the eastern mountains, the Cumberland Plateau, and the western agricultural regions. These are not domesticated animals displaying occasional wildness. They are functionally wild, behaviorally closer to European wild boar ancestry than any farm pig. And they can weigh over 400 pounds, move at over 30 miles per hour, and carry tusks capable of producing deep lacerations in a charge. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency has documented wild boar encounters resulting in injuries across multiple counties. Hunters who pursue them specifically describe wild boars as among the most dangerous game animals in the state. Unpredictable in a way larger animals like bears are not, fast enough to close distance before a retreating person can establish safe separation, and aggressive enough to press an attack rather than break it off. Number 8. The pygmy rattlesnake. The pygmy rattlesnake's danger is directly related to its size, which is the problem. Found along the western highland rim, this is Tennessee's smallest venomous snake at 1 to 1.5 feet. Its rattle is proportionally tiny, producing a faint buzzing that is frequently lost in ambient field noise before the snake is already within visual range. The venom is cytotoxic, producing significant pain and inflammation, and while bites are rarely fatal to healthy adults, they require medical treatment and carry serious complication risk for children and the elderly. The snake's small size means it is overlooked more readily than its larger relatives, encountered without the auditory warning that makes larger rattlesnakes easier to avoid. Number 9. The kissing bug. The kissing bug feeds on blood at night, typically biting its sleeping host around the mouth or eyes, often painlessly enough that victims sleep through it entirely. The bite itself is not the primary danger. Kissing bugs are the primary vector for Chagas disease, caused by the parasite Trypanosoma cruzi. In its acute phase, the infection produces flu-like symptoms mild enough that most victims attribute them to something else. In its chronic phase, developing silently over years or decades, Chagas disease produces cardiac complications, including enlarged heart and heart failure that can be fatal. The CDC estimates approximately 300,000 people in the United States are currently living with Chagas disease, most of them unaware. Tennessee's warm climate, rural housing stock, and woodpile-adjacent residential patterns create ideal kissing bug habitat across a significant portion of the state. Number 10. The snapping turtle. The common snapping turtle occupies Tennessee's rivers, lakes, ponds, and slow-moving streams statewide, and it belongs on this list for a specific physical capability that is genuinely dangerous in casual encounters, a bite force documented as sufficient to sever fingers. Snapping turtles can weigh over 40 pounds and move with deceptive speed in water. The specific risk in Tennessee is the nesting season encounter. A large snapping turtle on a trail, a road, or a lawn during its overland egg-laying travel cannot retreat to water and will defend itself with the full force of a bite that experienced wildlife handlers describe as among the most powerful per body size of any freshwater animal in the region. There are documented cases of bites severe enough to cause tissue damage requiring surgical intervention. Number 11. The mosquito. The mosquito belongs on every Tennessee wildlife danger list, and not for reasons requiring exaggeration. The World Health Organization identifies it as the deadliest animal on Earth, responsible for over 700,000 human deaths globally per year through the diseases it vectors. In Tennessee specifically, mosquitoes are the documented vector for West Nile virus, which has caused confirmed fatalities in the state, and for La Crosse encephalitis, a viral brain infection concentrated in the Appalachian region of Tennessee with confirmed pediatric fatalities and permanent neurological damage in Tennessee cases. The Tennessee Department of Health tracks both across the state annually. The mosquito does not look dangerous. It lands, it feeds, it leaves. And in a small percentage of those encounters, it deposits something that, depending on the pathogen and your immune response, can kill you. Tennessee's wildlife profile reflects what happens when extraordinary biodiversity overlaps with a human population that has settled into every corner of it. The animals on this list are not aberrations. They are residents, occupying terrain they have occupied far longer than any human community in the same space. The danger they represent is real, documented, and in most cases entirely manageable with the knowledge that Tennesseans who grew up alongside these animals carry as second nature. Check the ground before you step on it. Check the dark corners before you reach into them. Know which water you're wading into and what time of year it is. The woods here are worth entering. They simply require knowing what's in them first.